March is Women's History Month, and we would like to honor this at Everybody Dance. Hi, my name is Alondra. I'm 12 years old, and I take modern, conservatory, company, and jazz. I've been in the program for about 7 years now, and both of these teachers right here are my teachers of conservatory too. Who is one woman in the field of dance that has inspired you guys?
First of all, Miss Courtney, who is another dance teaching artist for Everybody Dance. She's also my sister, and she was my dance teacher growing up, along with my oldest sister. And both of my sisters really inspired me as dancers, I think because both of my sisters were strong dancers. I remember when Courtney went off to college and learned all this new stuff about dance, she would come home and she would give me a lesson basically in the stuff that she had learned off at college. And it was just so different from anything I had learned. And she really was the first person who got me started thinking about doing dance moves correctly as opposed to just doing them in the way that like gets your leg up the highest, or that has the end result being the most impressive. Instead, she really got me thinking about doing my dance moves from a correct place.
I'm so jealous. I wish I had a big sister that could come and tell me how to dance better.
It's the best.
Yeah. Shout out to Miss Courtney. Mine, I've always had like a weird connection with Isadora Duncan because we have the same birthday, and she's like the mother of modern dance. And when I learned about her in college and dance history, it basically she saw ballet and was like, there's too many rules here. This isn't how dance, I love ballet, but she thought there were too many rules, and she was like, this isn't how dance is supposed to be. So she took off like her pointe shoes, she took off the corset, and she put on this long flowy dress, and she just like ran around the field. Dance was supposed to look natural, and that it was supposed to represent the natural world and nature. And she thought ballet was like the opposite of natural, which it kind of is, but there's also like beauty and creativity in having a lot of restrictions. But she was a big rebel, and she took all the rules and restrictions of ballet, removed them, and she told her dancers to just move however felt good for them.
Mine would be basically the whole like Alvin Ailey company, because their form of like dancing is just really incredible with like the shapes they can do with their body. And I know for my modern class, we've been learning to do like different Alvin Ailey like movements, and it's like really hard, but it's like really fun at the same time. What made each of you interested in injury prevention and strengthening?
Getting injured as a dancer and being like your age, Alondra, and I already had knee problems and shoulder problems, and I had sprained both my ankles when I was 18 and trying to audition for college dance programs, which made it really tough to do those auditions. Said just growing up, I never really had learned how to do movements properly. And then when I did go to college for dance, my college ballet teacher was also a second generation Pilates instructor. And so she really taught ballet from this like anatomically correct kinesiological kind of perspective.
I mean, mine's pretty similar to Ashley's. It was an injury, but it wasn't like one moment an injury happened. I danced all the way through high school, and then when I graduated high school, I took a year off and then realized I missed it. So I majored in dance in college, and when I started dancing every day again, I started to get this really sharp pain near my tailbone. And then throughout the year, it got so bad. And by the time I was a senior in college, I went to the doctor at school. No one knew what was wrong. My teachers didn't really know what was wrong. So I'm jealous of Dolly. I wish I had Dolly then. And it got to the point where I had to take Advil to take class every day. And I hate taking Advil. And I have a memory of my last show in college. I was like crying in pain And then I'd like wipe my tears and go on stage and dance. And so it was really crazy, and it made me not want to dance anymore. It hurt so bad. And then I found there's this place called Modi in LA. It's like dancers know it. If you guys don't know it, you should follow them on Instagram. It's MOTI. But I went there and they looked at me and they explained that your muscles are like brakes when you're dancing, and my glutes were not strong enough to control like landings from jumps and things like that. And they were also uneven. That hand gesture. So they were also uneven. So when I was landing, it was pulling one side of my spine more than the other. Anyways, so learning that made me realize how much you have to be aware of the way you're using your body and the way that your muscles are helping you control your movement when you're dancing. Because when you grow up dancing, you're just like big legs, big jumps, and you don't think about how you're controlling it, and then you get injured.
What is the number one injury prevention tip that you would give to young dancers?
Like, we're looking at screens like this. So a stretch that I'm like loving lately is this kind of active stretch of hooking your hands behind your head and like trying to just arch back and look up towards the ceiling and let your elbows open and kind of push the back of your neck into your hands just for like a couple seconds at a time.
So I'll do a demo. I put an active hamstring stretch. So this is one. So you stand up, you have your feet hip distance apart, and then you step 1 foot forward, kind of staggered, not right in front, so it'll be hard to balance. Then you tap slowly inside, and then you come back up. Then you tap to your toe to the middle, and you come back up, keeping your hips square, and then you tap to the outside, and you come back up. And you do that, that's like 1 rep. I'd say you do at least like 4 or 5 of those, and then you step forward, and then you switch. So that's a good active hamstring stretch. Outside, middle, inside. That way you're working all parts of your hamstring too, which is really important.
Going between a lunge and a hamstring stretch.
That one's good.
What is your first favorite strengthening exercise for young dancers?
You just take like a hairband or a towel or leggings or anything, and you put it around your foot. Sorry, my feet are. You could lay down and you pull it towards you, and then you push into the band. You engage your muscles to push into it for like 4 counts, and then you relax your muscles and pull in for 4 counts.
One of my favorite active stretching activities is just a simple sun salutation from yoga class. It's a really nice way, if you're moving slowly and you're coordinating it with your breathing, it's a really nice way to make sure that you're activating your muscles, you're moving, but you're also stretching. And a sun salutation is just a big breath up, and then you touch your toes, and then the simple form, you come to a plank position and you do a slow push-up or chaturanga, hugging your elbows to your body. An upward facing dog where you're activating your tummy muscles as you stretch your back, and a child's pose. I feel like that series is so good if you do that just a couple times. And then into a downward dog. Sorry, I didn't mention the downward dog at the end. Downward dog is a great active stretch. You're using your upper body in a way that we don't often use as dancers unless you're doing floor work, and you're actively driving your heels down. I think yoga sun salutations are a great way to strengthen your body and stretch.
I do not like these, but I think they're good for dancers because so much of our movement, it reaches through our core. Like our legs, you need our core to lift the leg, and everything needs to connect through the middle. And so this is a good way to practice that. I'm gonna look like a fool. So basically, you turn your feet out. Maybe if I do it this way, it's better. You turn your feet out, you put your arms in fist over your head, and then you sit up into a V. You use your obliques, the side of your abs, to turn, and then you do a Superman up.
And then you turn back, feet up, and then you go to the other side. Superman, up, and then you turn back. It's so hard.
I love those, Miss Natasha. I forgot about those. And those are also really fun to do.
Yeah.
They're hard, but they're kind of fun.
So yeah, they're good for this whole area, and they're exciting for the soul too.
Are there any other tips or ideas you guys would like to share?
I think my kind of main message is just watching your form and the placement of your body and your posture in your everyday life, and try to make that a habit by noticing how you're sitting and trying to adjust it when you can remember to, by engaging your core. If you're going for a walk, see if you can engage your core and your glutes as you're walking so that you don't use your hips too much.
One big thing that I wish I learned sooner in life is it's really important for dancers to cross train. So do exercises that don't look like dance and that work muscles that you don't normally work in dance, because your body is a whole mechanism, and if you strengthen one part, it will help all the other parts. So Pilates is really good for dance, to kind of learn your musculature better and understand your body better and get more connected with your body. Yoga is good for a lot of like active dynamic stretches. And then weight training is really good to strengthen and also strengthen your bones. It's good for your bones too. So just having little weights. You could even do those curtsy lunges if your parents had like hand weights that aren't too heavy, like 5 pounds or something. You can do the curtsy lunges with the weights in your hands to kind of add some resistance. So cross training.
You could use like water bottles too. I've used water bottles before instead of weights.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or like little cans of soup. And so cross training is really, really, really important. And like Miss Ashley was saying, you guys have the internet, and there's endless classes on YouTube that you could take. You could do a little Pilates class. You could do a weight training class, and also ask us. Like, we probably have good classes that we've taken online that we can refer you guys to. And then my last thing is just quality over quantity. Do not do something with your body that you do not feel like you have control over. Don't do some gigantic crazy jump if you're not sure if you're going to be able to land out of it or not. You have to be able to control all of your movement, especially when your limbs are really far away from your body. You have to know that the strength is there to control it.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.